If season 1 of Hell's Paradise had you glued to the screen like it did me, then this is the only recap you'll need before season 2. We're breaking down the most important characters, the deadliest moments, and why this island changes everyone who steps foot onto it. But before we do that, let's drop that intro. So, what is Hell's Paradise? It's a mysterious island off the coast of Japan called Kotaku, rumored to hold the elixir of life, something so powerful it can grant immortality to whoever finds it. At first glance, the island looks incredible, lush, colorful, almost peaceful, but that's the lie, because Hell's Paradise isn't a reward, it's a trap. This place is a death sentence disguised as hope, and once you step foot onto it, the island does not care who you are. And to really understand why this island is so terrifying, you have to understand how it kills people. Here's what makes Hell's Paradise different from every other death island in anime. It doesn't just kill people, it punishes arrogance. Anyone who shows up thinking they're built different, stronger, smarter, deadlier, gets humbled almost immediately. On this island, strength does not equal survival. You got criminals who survive wars, assassinations, and executions, dying in minutes. Not because they're weak, but because this island does not play by the human rules. The environment itself is hostile. The plants are poisonous. The creatures do not hunt for food, they hunt to kill. And the worst part, it's not just nature. There's something else here, something intelligent, something watching. Hell's Paradise feels less like a place and more like a system designed to break people down. And that's why most characters die so fast. They rush in alone, they rely on brute strength, or refuse to work together. This island doesn't reward strength, it rewards adaptation, restraint, and cooperation. And if you don't figure that out quickly, it's GG's, my guy. Hell's Paradise makes sure you do not get another chance. But if y'all want a deeper breakdown on why no one survives here, check out our other Hell's Paradise video and I'll link it right above here. But now that you understand the island, let's talk about the people forced to survive it. First, you have Gabimaru the Hollow, our main character and the legendary ninja who claims he feels nothing. But his love for his wife is the one thing keeping him human and the one weakness the island keeps pushing. Next, we have some of the Asamon executioners. Saguri is an executioner torn between justice and mercy. Raised to believe killing is duty, Hell's Paradise forces her to question whether order without compassion is really justice. Shion is blind but incredibly disciplined. He proves that survival isn't about raw power, it's about awareness, restraint, and adapting faster than everyone else. Tenza is the young, loyal, and idealistic executioner. He represents the innocent and is the heart of season 1 to me. His presence reminds us what the island takes first. Senta is curious and analytical. He is driven by understanding the island rather than conquering it, making him valuable but dangerously vulnerable. Next, we have Gante and Fuchi, his executioner. Gante is loud, violent, and obsessed with strength. He embodies the arrogance Hell's Paradise exists to punish. Chobe and Tama are actually brothers who are secretly plotting, Toma acting as the mole within the Asamon, and together they uncover the truth of Kotaku. Naragai is an innocent child who's traumatized, but proves the island does not care who deserves to be there, it only cares who can endure it. And then we have the Lord Tenzin, the big bads of the island. They aren't driven by cruelty, but by transcendence. To them, humanity is fuel and immortality is worth any cost. And when all of these people collide on the same island, survival becomes the least of their problems. Season 1 adapts the island arc and half of the Lord Tenzin arc, following Gabimaru the Hollow, a legendary ninja from Iwagakure who's about to be executed. This man does not fear death. In fact, nothing seems able to kill him. But just before his execution, he's offered one last chance at freedom by Saguri, acting on behalf of the shogunate. The deal is simple: travel to the island of Kotaku, find the elixir of life, and earn a full pardon. After surviving a brutal death match, the remaining convicts are paired with the Asamon executioners, each authorized to kill the prisoners the moment they step out of line. Order forced onto chaos. But the moment they arrive on the island, everything collapses. I mean, despite how beautiful this island looks, it is absolutely unforgiving. Poisonous plants that turn people into Groot, monsters that tear you limb from limb, and you have these godlike beings that walk around freely. The expedition expedition is wiped out almost immediately. Early on, Tenza shows he's the heart of the Asumon. When confronted by one of the island's gods, he sacrifices himself to save Naragai and his mentor Shion, allowing them to descend deeper into the island. Elsewhere, Gante and Fuchi are forced to square off against the Doshi, monk-like servants of the Tensen who can also control all the monsters on the island. Shoot, even Gabimaru barely survives these encounters, and not without sacrifice. As the island struggles on, they uncover the truth. This island is ruled by the Lord Tensen, near mortal beings who sustain themselves by harvesting Tao, the life energy that exists within every living thing. Tao is the foundation of the elixir of life. Chobei and Tama learned this the hard way when they find out that humans are harvested on this island and transformed into Tan, an incomplete version of the elixir of life. Immortality here isn't divine, it's built on human sacrifice. And this is the reason why the Tensen are so hard to kill. When pushed, they transform into this grotesque form known as the Kishikai. Along the way, the group meets Mei, an incomplete Tensen, and Hoko, who explains the island's history, how the original settlers of Horai were transformed into trees via a process called abrification, and how Tao governs everything on Kotaku. By the end of the season, some of the remaining survivors come together in this fire battle against one of the Lord Tensen, Mudan. Through sacrifice, teamwork, and a dangerous understanding of Tao, Mudan goes night-night, but the victory comes at a cost. After pushing himself beyond his limits, Gabimaru awakens surrounded by the remaining survivors, only to realize something is wrong. Part of his memory is gone, including his wife, the one thing that gave him the will to survive. Season 1 ends with Hoko sacrificing himself to give his remaining Tao in order to save Mei, and also the arrival of a second expedition led by Shugen, the ruthless new head of the Asumon, tasked with wiping everything out on the island, retrieving the elixir of life, and bringing back the surviving executioners home. And that leads us right into season 2. If season 1 was a test, then season 2 is the punishment. Season 2 drops on Sunday and adapts the rest of the Lord Tensen arc, then moves into the Horai arc, and this is where the story starts cooking. The conflict stops being about survival and starts being about consequences. We finally come face to face with the leader of the Lord Tensen, and the scale expands from a deadly island into something that threatens humanity itself. Season 2 digs deeper into Kotaku's origins, not by explaining everything, but by showing what happens when a pursuit of immortality completely abandons humanity. And this is where the themes fully lock in. Immortality versus being a human, power versus compassion, survival versus meaning. And if the Lord Tensen get their way, trust me, humanity should be afraid. And the fact that this series is animated by Studio Mappa, yeah, the same studio behind Chainsaw Man and JJK, man, we are in for a ride. If you love the brutal action, beautiful animation, and a story that actually has something to say, Hell's Paradise Season 2 is not one to miss. Thank you, House fan, for stopping by the channel. We here at the House of Animation are dedicated to bringing you guys the best content we can. And we put a lot of hard work into these videos, so it would mean a lot if you could mash the like and subscribe button, and make sure to turn them noties and alerts on to make sure you do not miss out on our videos. Also, make sure to drop a comment below to let us know if you agree with this breakdown or what else you would like us to explore on this channel. And well, with that, House fam, you already know what it is, baby. Gotta blast.